The Awakening. The Galactic Confederation's High Council chamber fell silent as Overseer Xalith's hologram materialized above the central podium. For 10,000 years, the Confederation had watched emerging civilizations, guiding them through carefully controlled technological advancement. But today was different. Today, they faced their greatest failure. Honored council members, Xalith's crystalline form shimmered with anxiety. I bring disturbing news from Sol 3, designation, Earth. Our observation protocols have been compromised. The chamber erupted in murmurs. Earth was supposed to be a controlled experiment, a primitive species being slowly shepherded toward what the Confederation considered proper civilization. For centuries, they had planted their observers, disguised their monitoring stations, and carefully manipulated human development to follow their prescribed path. Impossible, declared Council Member Venn, their bioluminescent patterns flashing with skepticism. Our methods are perfect. We've guided thousands of species without detection. Xalith's crystal structure pulsed red with urgency. 2 hours ago, our primary observation hub in their Arctic region received this message. To the watchers in the ice, we need to talk. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Some members demanded immediate intervention. Others called for the traditional solution of quarantine and memory modification. But Xalith wasn't finished. The message came through our own quantum-encrypted channels. They didn't just find us. They reverse-engineered our most secure communication technology. Senior Council Member Dara, ancient and wise, even by Confederation standards, raised a tendril for silence. Show us everything. The chamber's holographic display expanded, showing surveillance footage from Earth. Humans going about their daily lives, building their cities, launching their primitive rockets. But then the footage changed. Hidden beneath the surface of human civilization was something else entirely. Underground facilities housed technology that shouldn't exist. Quantum computers more advanced than the Confederation's own. Energy signatures that suggested mastery of dark matter manipulation. And most disturbing of all, evidence that humans had been watching their watchers. They let us think we were in control, Xalith explained, their crystalline form dimming with embarrassment. Every time we nudged their development in one direction, they appeared to comply while developing something entirely different in secret. The humans knew we were watching, and they put on a show. How long? Dara asked, their ancient voice barely a whisper. Based on our analysis, at least 300 years. They'd been aware of our presence since their industrial revolution, maybe earlier. The implications were staggering. The Confederation's entire approach to guiding emerging civilizations was based on the assumption of superiority and secrecy. But humans had turned the tables. They had observed their observers, learned from their watchers, and developed in ways the Confederation had never anticipated. There's more, Xalith continued. The message came with an invitation. They're requesting a direct meeting with the High Council, not through intermediaries, not through our standard first contact protocols. They want the leaders of the Confederation to come to Earth. A trap, Venn declared, their bioluminescence turning dark with concern. Perhaps, Dara responded, their ancient wisdom showing through. But consider the implications. They've known about us for centuries. They could have exposed us at any time. They could have attacked our observation posts. Instead, they waited, watched, and learned. And now, they're inviting us to talk. The council chamber fell silent again as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just discovered them. They had outmaneuvered them. Every assumption the Confederation had made about human technological progress, about their society's development, about their awareness of the galaxy around them, had been wrong. We have no choice, Dara finally said. We must meet with them. Not because they demanded, but because we need to understand how thoroughly we have underestimated them. As the council debated the details of the meeting, a final message appeared on their screens, transmitted through their supposedly unbreakable quantum networks. We look forward to dropping the pretense. It's time for humanity to stop playing primitive. The message was signed simply, Office of Extraterrestrial Observation and Response, Earth Defense Initiative. Established 1752. Zealot's hologram flickered as they processed the date. 1752. That's when we implemented the Great Barrier Project, supposedly preventing them from detecting advanced spacefaring civilizations. Yes, Dara responded, their ancient voice carrying a note of admiration. The barrier we thought was protecting us from them was actually protecting them from us. We've been playing chess while they invented an entirely different game. The Confederation's age of comfortable superiority was over. Humanity had just announced their presence on the galactic stage, and they had done it by revealing that they had been in control all along. The Watchers had become the watched, and the galaxy would never be the same. Hidden strengths. The landing site chosen by the humans for the Confederation delegation spoke volumes about their true capabilities. As the Council's ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, they found themselves approaching not some primitive spaceport, but a massive floating platform suspended in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, its surface rippling with what appeared to be living metal. Director Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Initiative stood at the platform's center, flanked by a small team of human representatives. No military presence, no weapons, just a group of scientists and diplomats waiting to reveal centuries of hidden progress. The Confederation delegates emerged from their ship, led by the ancient Dara, whose tendrils wavered slightly in recognition of the advanced technology surrounding them. The platform beneath their feet wasn't just a landing pad. It was a demonstration. "Welcome to Nexus Station," Sarah said, her voice clear and confident. "We thought it appropriate to meet on neutral ground, or rather, neutral water. This facility represents just one of many technologies we developed while you thought we were struggling with basic spaceflight." Zealot's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly as their sensors analyzed the platform. This shouldn't be possible. The energy requirements alone. Dark matter manipulation, one of the human scientists offered casually. "We reverse-engineered it from studying your observation posts, though we found more efficient applications than your current methods." The delegation moved inside the facility, where holographic displays activated automatically, showing the true extent of human technological development. Underground cities spanning continents, quantum communication networks that made the Confederation's encryption look primitive, energy production systems that harnessed the power of microscopic artificial singularities. "While you watched us launch chemical rockets and celebrate reaching our moon," Sarah explained, "we were building this, all of it hidden beneath a carefully maintained veneer of technological immaturity." "But why?" Dara asked, their ancient voice carrying genuine curiosity. "Why maintain this deception for so long?" Sarah's expression softened slightly. "Because we learned from history. Every time your Confederation found a developing civilization, you guided them along your predetermined path. You decided what technologies they should have, what social structures they should adopt, what beliefs they should hold." She gestured to a holographic display, showing the various alien civilizations that had been guided by the Confederation. "You created copies of yourselves, each civilization a slight variation on your theme. We chose a different path." The display shifted to show Earth's hidden development timeline. "When we first detected your presence, our leaders faced a choice. We could reveal ourselves and be guided along your path, or we could watch, learn, and develop on our own terms." Ven's bioluminescent patterns flashed with indignation. "You stole our technology." "No," Sarah corrected firmly. "We observed, we learned, and we innovated. Every piece of technology you see here was developed by human scientists. Yes, we gained insights from studying your methods, but we didn't simply copy. We improved." To demonstrate, she raised her hand, and the air around them shimmered. The entire room transformed, showing them a view of Earth's solar system. But this wasn't just a hologram. It was a real-time quantum projection of every object in the system, down to the smallest asteroid. "Your observation posts used similar technology to monitor small areas," Sarah explained. "We expanded it to cover our entire solar system. Every ship that enters our space, every probe you send, every attempt at surveillance, we see it all. The Confederation delegates moved through the display in stunned silence. Their most advanced monitoring systems couldn't achieve this level of detail and coverage. But this isn't about proving our technological superiority, Sarah continued. It's about showing you why your approach to guiding developing civilizations needs to change. Innovation doesn't come from following a predetermined path. It comes from allowing species to develop their own solutions, their own technologies, their own way of thinking. Dara moved forward, their ancient form radiating curiosity. You could have revealed this at any time. Why now? Sarah's expression grew serious. Because humanity is ready to join the galactic community, but on our own terms. We won't be another copy of your civilization. We won't follow your predetermined path. We're offering something different. True collaboration between equals. The holographic display shifted again, showing designs for technologies that even the Confederation hadn't conceived of. This is what happens when you let civilizations develop naturally. They find solutions you never imagined. We're not asking to be guided anymore. We're offering to help guide the galaxy towards something new. As the Confederation delegates absorbed this revelation, they began to understand the true magnitude of their miscalculation. They hadn't been watching a primitive species struggle toward enlightenment. They had been watching humanity perform the greatest deception in galactic history, all while developing into something the Confederation had never seen before. The age of guidance was over. The age of collaboration was about to begin. The demonstration. The Confederation delegates stood in Nexus Station's central chamber as Sarah Chen prepared to show them something that would fundamentally change their understanding of humanity's capabilities. The chamber's walls dissolved, revealing what appeared to be empty space, but the truth was far more impressive. What you're about to see, Sarah began, is why we chose to reveal ourselves now. Project Darkstar has reached completion. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, one by one, points of light began to appear throughout the solar system display. Not stars, but ships. Hundreds of them. Thousands, materializing from what seemed like nowhere. Impossible. Zalith's crystalline form pulsed with disbelief. Our sensors would have detected a fleet this size. No, Sarah corrected gently. They didn't. Because until this moment, these ships didn't exist in normal spacetime. We've been building them in what we call pocket dimensions, microscopic folds in reality where we could construct an entire civilization's worth of infrastructure without detection. The display zoomed in on one of the ships. Its design was unlike anything the Confederation had seen. Organic curves blended with geometric precision, the hull seeming to shift and flow like liquid metal. Biomechanical adaptive architecture, one of the human scientists explained. The ships aren't just vessels. They're living entities, capable of learning, evolving, and adapting to any situation they encounter. Dara moved closer to the display, their ancient form trembling slightly. You've mastered dimensional engineering and biotechnology at this scale. Even we considered such achievements theoretical. Because you followed a linear path of technological development, Sarah responded. We took a different approach. When we discovered your observation posts were blind to certain fundamental forces, we focused our development there. Every limitation you imposed became an opportunity for innovation. The display shifted again, showing a network of interconnected points spanning the galaxy. We mapped your entire FTL communication network by tracking quantum entanglement signatures. But instead of using it, we developed our own. She gestured, and new lines appeared, weaving through the existing network like threads through a tapestry. Instantaneous communication across any distance, completely undetectable to conventional quantum monitoring. Ven's bioluminescent patterns flashed with alarm. You've been listening to our secure communications. We could have, Sarah acknowledged. But we didn't. We respect privacy, even of those who tried to control us. We only monitored what was necessary to ensure our security. The chamber transformed again, this time showing Earth itself. But not as it appeared from space. This view revealed the true extent of human civilization. Vast underground complexes, orbital habitats hidden within asteroids, entire cities phased slightly out of normal spacetime. 90% of our civilization exists in dimensions slightly offset from regular spacetime, Sarah explained. What you've been observing is just the surface, literally. We learned early on that the best way to hide our development was to simply step sideways in reality. One of the human scientists stepped forward, activating a smaller display. But our greatest achievement isn't technological, it's biological. The display showed human DNA, but it was unlike anything the Confederation had seen before. We discovered that consciousness itself has quantum properties, the scientist continued. By understanding these properties, we've begun to unlock abilities that your civilization might consider supernatural. Telepathy, precognition, manipulation of matter at a fundamental level, all achieved through controlled human evolution. To demonstrate, Sarah raised her hand, and a sphere of pure energy formed above it. We're not just showing you our technology, she said as the sphere transformed into complex geometric patterns. We're showing you what humanity has become. The Confederation delegates watched in stunned silence as the demonstration continued. Every assumption they had made about technological development, about the limits of physical law, about the very nature of reality itself, was being challenged. But why reveal all this now? Dara asked finally. Why not continue your hidden development? Sarah's expression grew serious. Because we've detected something coming. Something that threatens not just humanity or the Confederation, but all life in the galaxy. We've spent centuries preparing not just to reveal ourselves, but to face this threat. The display changed one final time, showing readings from the edge of known space, patterns that made even the ancient Dara recoil in recognition. The Confederation has been so focused on controlling the development of new civilizations that you've missed the signs, Sarah said quietly. But we saw them. We've been watching, preparing, building. And now we need to work together, not as guides and guided, but as equals. The truth hung in the air between them. Humanity hadn't just surpassed the Confederation's expectations. They had prepared for a future the Confederation hadn't even recognized was coming. The time for secrets was over. The time for true collaboration had begun. Breaking point. The Confederation High Council's emergency session was unlike any in its 10,000-year history. The Grand Chamber, designed to host thousands of species representatives, now felt suffocating as the evidence of humanity's achievements played on endless loops across its quantum displays. High Counselor Venn stood at the center, their bioluminescence pulsing with barely contained anxiety. We face two unprecedented crises. First, a species that has completely circumvented our guidance protocols. Second, a threat they claim will destroy everything we've built. The question before us is simple. Can we trust them? The chamber erupted in overlapping arguments. Some called for immediate military action against Earth, others demanded access to human technology, and a few even suggested surrender to what was clearly a superior civilization. Sarah Chen stood calmly at the speaker's podium, waiting for the chaos to subside. Besides her, Admiral James Martinez, Earth's military representative, watched the proceedings with quiet intensity. Your fears are understandable, Sarah finally said, her voice cutting through the noise. But consider this. We could have revealed ourselves at any time over the past 3 centuries. We chose now for a reason. The holographic display shifted to show what humanity's sensors had detected at the galaxy's edge. Dark, fractal patterns that seemed to defy the laws of physics, spreading like cracks in reality itself. We call them void fractures, Admiral Martinez explained. Tears in spacetime caused by a civilization far older than the Confederation. They're not just coming to conquer. They're coming to harvest entire realities. Zalith's crystalline form darkened. How can you be certain? Our sensors have detected nothing. Because your sensors are looking for what you expect to find, Sarah replied. She gestured and new data streams appeared. We developed our technology specifically to detect what conventional methods miss. The void fractures have been growing for millennia, but they operate on frequencies your civilization never thought to monitor. Ancient Dara floated forward, their tendrils weaving patterns of deep concern. If what you say is true, why have you waited until now? Why not warn us sooner? Admiral Martinez stepped forward. Because until now, we weren't ready to defend against them. And neither were you. He activated a personal projector, showing tactical simulations. The Confederation's military doctrine is based on overwhelming force. But these entities can't be defeated by conventional weapons. They exist partially outside our reality. The display showed Confederation battle fleets engaging the void fractures, their weapons passing harmlessly through the dark patterns, while reality itself twisted and broke around them. But we've developed something different, Sarah continued. She nodded to a human technician who activated another display. Project Lighthouse, a network of quantum beacons that can stabilize space-time itself, preventing the fractures from spreading. But to cover the entire galaxy, we need the Confederation's help. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just surpassed the Confederation technologically. They had prepared for a war that the Confederation didn't even know was coming. Ven's patterns flashed with sudden understanding. This is why you maintained the deception. You needed time to prepare, to build your defenses without interference. Yes, Sarah acknowledged. Every time you tried to guide our development down your prescribed path, you would have steered us away from the very technologies we needed to survive. The display shifted again, showing the full extent of humanity's preparations. Hidden fleets, quantum defense networks, and technologies that seemed to bridge the gap between science and what the Confederation would consider magic. We're not asking for your surrender or your submission, Admiral Martinez stated firmly. We're asking for true collaboration. Your civilization has experience coordinating galaxy-wide efforts. We have the technology and understanding to face this threat. Together, we might survive what's coming. Ancient Dara moved to the center of the chamber, their form radiating authority gained through millennia of existence. For 10,000 years, we have guided younger civilizations, believing our path was the only path to advancement. Today, we face proof that we were wrong. The chamber rustled with murmurs as Dara continued. The humans have shown us that true advancement comes not from following a predetermined path, but from finding new ways forward. They have also shown us something else, the wisdom to seek alliance rather than domination. Dara turned to face the human representatives. But trust must be earned. Show us these void fractures. Let us verify your claims. If what you say is true, you will have the full resources of the Confederation at your disposal. Sarah nodded, then pressed a sequence on her communicator. Above the chamber, the ceiling seemed to dissolve, revealing the true sky, not the filtered view the Confederation used, but reality as humanity had learned to see it. And there, visible to all, were the first tendrils of darkness reaching across the stars. The breaking point had arrived, but not the one anyone had expected. Instead of the fall of civilization, they faced the possibility of its rebirth, if they could learn to work together in time. New dawn. The combined fleet of humanity and a confederation hung in the void at the galaxy's edge, a sight unprecedented in the history of either civilization. Sleek human vessels, their living metal hulls rippling with dimensional energies, flew in perfect formation alongside the crystalline ships of the Confederation. What had begun as confrontation had transformed into the greatest collaborative effort the galaxy had ever seen. From the bridge of the Earth flagship Prometheus, Sarah Chen watched the final preparations for Project Lighthouse's activation. Beside her, Admiral Martinez coordinated with Confederation tactical officers, while Ancient Dara observed with quiet appreciation. The void fractures have accelerated their approach, Zalith reported, their crystalline form projecting tactical data. We have perhaps 30 minutes before they breach our defensive line. Sarah nodded, checking the quantum displays that showed the vast network of beacons they had positioned throughout the galaxy. Status of the Lighthouse Network. 97% synchronized. A human technician reported. The Confederation's communication grid is fully integrated with our quantum matrix. We're ready to begin final activation. The dark patterns at the edge of space had grown visible even to conventional sensors now, reality itself seeming to crack and splinter around them. The void fractures were no longer just a threat. They were an imminent reality. "Look at them," Dara mused, their ancient form trembling slightly. "All our knowledge, all our supposed advancement, and we never saw them coming. Yet humanity, a species we thought primitive, prepared for this moment for centuries. Because we learned to look beyond the obvious," Sarah replied. "Your civilization mastered the physical universe. We learned to step sideways from it, to see the spaces between spaces." She turned to face the ancient being. "That's why we need each other. Your stability, our innovation. Your coordination, our adaptability." Admiral Martinez's console chimed in alert. "They're accelerating. Multiple fractures forming ahead of the main breach. They've detected the network." Sarah straightened, her voice carrying across the bridge. "All ships, battle positions. Remember your training. Conventional weapons won't affect them. Focus on maintaining the quantum field integrity around your assigned beacons." The first wave of void fractures struck like black lightning, reality tearing open in dozens of places. Confederation ships moved with precise coordination, their energy shields creating a lattice of protective fields, while human vessels phased in and out of normal space, managing the quantum fluctuations that threatened to tear everything apart. "Lighthouse network at full power," the technician announced. "Quantum field stabilizing. Beginning primary sequence." Sarah watched as the network of beacons activated, each one pushing back against the encroaching darkness. This was the moment everything had been building toward, not just the technology, but the cooperation between civilizations that had only days ago been at odds. The void fractures reacted violently, tendrils of unreality lashing out at the quantum field. Ships from both fleets took hits, their crews working together seamlessly to maintain the network's integrity. This wasn't a battle that could be won with weapons. It would be won with understanding and cooperation. "Field integrity at 80%, Zalith reported. "The fractures are attempting to adapt." "Just as we predicted," Sarah said. She turned to Admiral Martinez. "Initiate Phase 2. The human ships began to pulse with a new kind of energy, their living metal hulls resonating with the quantum field. This was humanity's greatest secret, the ability to not just fight the void, but to reshape reality itself. "All ships, broadcast on the prescribed frequencies," Sarah commanded. "Let's show them why we spent 3 centuries preparing for this moment." The combined fleet began to emit patterns of quantum energy that matched and canceled the void fracture's own frequencies. It wasn't just technology at work. It was the fundamental understanding of reality that humanity had developed, while the Confederation watched them launch chemical rockets. "It's working," Dara observed, their ancient form brightening. "The fractures are being forced to conform to our reality's laws." The dark patterns began to shift and change, their chaotic nature being literally rewritten by the combined efforts of 2 civilizations that had learned to work together at the crucial moment. "Lighthouse network at full resonance," the technician reported. "Quantum field stabilizing across all sectors. The fractures are being contained." Hour by hour, the combined fleet maintained their position, humanity's understanding of dimensional engineering working in perfect concert with the Confederation's mastery of conventional physics. What one civilization couldn't accomplish alone, they achieved together. As the last void fractures were sealed and reality stabilized, Sarah turned to address the bridge crew, human and Confederation alike. "This victory doesn't belong to humanity or to the Confederation. It belongs to all of us together. And it's just the beginning." Ancient Dara floated forward. "For 10,000 years, we thought we were teaching younger civilizations. Today, we learn that true wisdom comes from being willing to learn." They turned to Sarah. "What happens now?" Sarah smiled. gesturing to the displays showing ships from both civilizations working together to maintain the quantum network. Now we build something new. Not your way, not our way, but a new path forward. Together. The galaxy was changing. The age of guidance was over, replaced by an era of true cooperation. Humanity had revealed itself not just as equals to the Confederation, but as partners in facing whatever challenges the universe might present next. And in the vast darkness of space, the quantum beacons of Project Lighthouse continued to shine, a testament to what could be achieved when civilizations chose to work together rather than stand apart.